Yay, I'm your live with John S Sports Channel, everything Championship, League One, and running. And today, again, we're on running. My God, that's twice today we've been on for running. The thing is, been on holiday. Yay! So I had three or 4 days off. It included two rest days, so that was quite good. So it's not been too bad a week. If we look at the week, so the running week was from the 26th of August to the 30th of August. Do that because I've got my data in front of me. So where did we go Monday? 26th. So, right. So Monday, 26th, a nice easy run. Did 7 miles. I mean, it's actually, I actually did 1 hour, 7 minutes. I think it's actually for 40. It's 45 minutes, I believe. And it's not a bad run. Managed to get a reasonable percentage, 91%, which is pretty good. I say it's 9 minutes and 5 to 10 minutes and 5. So actually not done too bad there. I think that's quite a good pace. I decided to keep it up. As you can see near the end, I actually managed to stay going. Yeah, I managed to stay a little bit longer. Little bit of push, a little bit of drop back, and then a long period of zone 2, where it drops off there and goes flat, is basically zone 2. So yeah, I tried to manage a nice easy run with a little bit of zone 2 running. I chirp on about zone 2 constantly, so I can't really not do it myself, can I? And I think my heart rate sort of like, it was okay. I think at that point it was starting to show a few fluctuations I was a little bit worried about, which we'll come on to in a minute. Like I said, everything's aerobic. As I expected, there's very little effort really in there. As I said, the power went off towards the end as we started to try and do zone 2. So that was a good run, good little run. That's the 26th, Monday. Now, Tuesday was a bit difficult because Tuesday's a progression run. And so we're trying to hit a nice steady 9 minutes to 10 minutes for a while. And then we try and push it on for a sort of a minute faster. So hit about 60% there. So that was about 65%, which was really good. My heart rate started to show a bit of fluctuation there, and I'm trying a lot more in that during that run to stay on target and try and get that zone 2. So I tried a bit of zone 2 running before to warm up. I tried a bit of zone 2 running afterwards. Showed in the heart rate, the average heart rate was 148. So I found that quite nice. And I actually managed to keep that pretty much spot on. And I was really quite impressed with it because I did 4 miles, 4 miles, 4.5 miles. And I managed to do that little step up. And I did the extra few minutes on the end just to keep it going and get that percentage up. So I was quite happy that I was in a good green position for my for my percentage. So that was good. And then we came on to Wednesday, the long run, and the long run is now trying to get you to do the 9 minutes 10 to 9. It's about 9 minutes 6 or something like that to 10 minutes 6 for a lot longer. And of course, I'm thinking, oh crikey, I'll go downhill first, which is really, really difficult. And I always manage to just not quite go slow enough down the hill. It really is tempting to just nibble the. I usually end up doing about 8:40, 8:45, and it's like, nah, you're still going too fast. It won't let you off with it. So Wednesday managed to 86%. So again, not too bad. I got 86% accuracy. Execution score. Sounds like they're killing you, doesn't it? Now, as you see, the actual pace is almost spot on, isn't it? Where I got the dips, you can see the dips in the middle. Is actually that's main roads. So I ran to the beach instead of doing the figure of 8 that I keep mentioning around the local roads. Oh, excuse me. And there's a few dual carriageways that you have to cross. Well, yeah, there's a couple that you have to cross, and it can be a little bit of a wait, and it really does drop the figures quite drastically. And I realise that this the thing with Garmin is that it waits a little bit between you actually stopping and it coming down to zero on your pace. It's like when you're speeding up and you're trying to, and it gives you 20 seconds to do 7 minutes 4 per mile, and it takes 5-6 seconds to catch up with you. It's the same when you stop. It will slowly start slowing down, even though you've actually stopped, because it's averaging out. And this averaging out can be such a pain in the arse, because then you start speeding up and trying to hit this 1 minute gap. And even the 1 minute gap becomes quite difficult, because 10 seconds in, when you do cross the dual carriageway, 10 seconds in, you're still actually wondering what on earth's happening, because it's still on sort of 20 minutes per mile. And you're clearly not doing that. So you've got to try and judge in your head. And to be honest, the guy on here just does actually say, this is about you getting it in your head, the pace, rather than looking at your watch or the phone, whichever one you're using. And realistically, you're supposed to be able to just do it in your head and run it like the professionals do, almost without even thinking, because they don't have watches. Most of the professionals, they know exactly what 4 minute mile feels like. They know exactly what 6 minute mile feels like, and they can just go off and run it. And that's what they're trying to get you to do. So although it's annoying, in a way it sort of kicks you into having to do this thought process, and it's really good. Now, this is the point that I was making just then, is my heart rate's starting to do some very strange things. There's a couple of little dips in there, and I'm thinking, okay, they're crossing the road. I get that, but then you suddenly get wee big jumps when there shouldn't be a big jump, and there's a big jump just before little there, which is that just there, which is like, why did that happen? And the drops were a little too quick for me. I just didn't quite get. Some of the drops were, especially at the beginning. There's 2 drops at the beginning, and I'm thinking up there, and I'm thinking, why did it just drop there? And I remember head feeling a bit light, but it's very, very hot. But I've got my water with me. I've got my salts. Take some water, take the salts, and then try and get the the fluid right. But at that point on Wednesday, if you want to stay, it's critical, this bit, because I've been running for a while and I have passed out from a seizure once. And I can see the little dips here and the little peaks. And I was getting worried by Wednesday because these graphs on the heart rate are really, 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 really handy. So I got to Wednesday and I'm thinking, I'm really good on I'm getting the execution score really good. It's my long run day, and actually I'm doing damn well, but I wasn't too happy with the heart rate or the way in which it was dropping. Now, fortunately, after that, Thursday is the easy run day. Now, Thursday is just 9 minutes 6 to 10 minutes 6. I have a quick walk around, 87% accuracy, and realistically, I'm thinking, yeah, I've got the pace okay, but I did it on a figure of 8 round here, which is it's a bit of a hilly, and I'm not very good at the minute at trying to keep that in your head to do that 1 minute gap, because I kept going too fast downhill, and I've got to be able to nail the speed in my head. Although I will always do quicker downhill because I'm really good at downhills, but I've got to get that right at the minute. And once again, I looked at the heart rate, and I'm this time I'm thinking it's not too bad. There are a couple of little odd dives that didn't match the incline in the road or anything else, and it's when the heart rate, again, I'm seeing heart rates that just didn't match either the fluctuation of the course, or my speed. So that's sort of 2 or 3 days in a row that I'd got that, and it's important to remember that, because just stay on. If you just stay on, I think that you might find it interesting, because I got to Friday, and Friday's I actually went on holiday, and it's red hot, and I waited until it had got just a little bit cooler, and I thought, yeah, we can do this. We can easily get this one nailed. And I go to my charts. You look at my heart rate. I'll get the finger to it first, but there's a complete drop just there. Now, at that point, I almost had a seizure again. And you can see how, most importantly, you can see just before, and I'm running on the flat at a constant rate here. Yeah, so I'm trying to stay pretty much, it's my fast run, so I'm supposed to be doing around 8 minutes per mile. It's my race pace run. So why did it suddenly drop to that just before it dropped through the floor? Now, when it first dropped, my head suddenly started feeling really light. So lets me put my finger on it. At that point there, I started feeling really lightheaded, and I'm thinking there's something wrong. Then I started feeling a little bit better, but not for very long. And all of a sudden, you can see there, it drops through the floor, absolutely dropped through the floor. And I ended up almost having a seizure, and I was on the floor, and my heart rate had just dropped straight down. And the thing is, like if you've seen the bit before this, through Wednesday and Thursday, I'd been seeing signs of this happening. Not a great deal, but little fluctuations in the heart rate graph where there shouldn't have been fluctuations, and all of a sudden they drop. Well, there's no reason for it dropping. I'm not going downhill and relaxing, and then it'd rise, and you'd think, well, I'm not going uphill, I'm not increasing my pace. So I would always say, if you ever see something like that, don't always mark it off, because I tell you what, I didn't mark it off completely because I did have that little bit of a light-headed feeling. And always take out your salts, because believe it or not, Friday was the first day I didn't take out my drink and I didn't take out the salts. I took the jelly babies with me, but I didn't take. I took one a little bit too early. Perhaps I should have took another one as I was going round, because I've been going 20 minutes then. So you can imagine it's a decent trundle. Usually you wouldn't be taking jelly babies at 20 minutes, but I did. If I had done, I'd have possibly, with a bit of water, if I'd took the fucking water with me, I might have stopped myself having a seizure. I managed to stop myself because I got a drink from someone who was close by, and it was a Coke drink to get the sugars back up. Jelly baby from my pocket. A water from somebody who had a caravan nearby, and I was fine. But the moral of the story this week's been, if you're gonna run in hot weather, do take out your water, do take out your salts. Don't just think, I'm only going to be running 50 minutes. It's not worth it, because that's what I said, and I went out and stupidly didn't take my drink with me, didn't take the salts, the little salt tablet in it, and I know that it's the salts and minerals and the fluid that did me last time. I had a full seizure. So it's critical that you take out that fluid with you if it's really hot, and it's critical you have that hydration mix with it, because it can happen, and it does happen, and it did happen to me Friday. And also, keep an eye on how your head's feeling, and remember that when you start dehydrating, the first thing that you start thinking is, oh, I can do this. Let's just have a bit of a slowdown and we'll carry on. No, don't carry on, because you won't be carrying on. You'll be on the floor. So I learned a valuable lesson there. Like, when you're just feeling lazy and you don't want to fill that up, and you don't want to put the tablet in, and you don't want to sort of mix it, wait for it to dissolve, then go running. You'd forgotten it. So do I go back in and make it? Yes, you do. You go back in, you make it, you get it ready, and you go running with it. And you make sure that if you start feeling funny as you go around, especially as a senior runner, which is why I've done this, you bloody well take it, and you take your gels and your jelly babies if you need them. And I think that has to be the moral of this week is, not only make sure you go out in hot weather with the appropriate drinks, energy substances, whether it be gels or jelly babies, but make sure you go out with them, take them at the appropriate time, and make sure you're listening to your head, and don't try not to do the obvious, which is, oh, I can easily get back. No, stop, sit down, think about it, make sure you're 100% better, and then carry on. And the other thing is, if you see signs like I did on a 2 or 3 days before, that something's not right with that heart graph, and you're thinking something's just wrong, then double make sure that you're doing this, and make sure you get the appropriate rest, the appropriate relaxation, and that you're watching for this, because it could be a sign of something that's about to happen, and you really don't want to end up on the floor. I was fortunate that I knew it was happening, so I got down on the floor. You could quite easily fall down in front of a car, which would be obviously extremely dangerous. So please do listen to my plea. Do make sure you take the bloody hydration, and don't listen to your head thinking, I can't be bothered to go back. It's hot. I don't want to go back in and make it. Yes, go back in, make it, come out, take a couple of extra jelly babies if you need to, and especially if you've had signs just a few days before. But yeah, stay safe out there, and hopefully my experience will help you, especially if you're an older runner. You really do need to do this, guys, because the older you get, the more likely you are to run into something like I ran into. And it's critical that we all look at it and make sure that we understand it, and we understand when it's coming, and we understand it's about to come, and then when it arrives, we know it is there, so that we can do something about it before it happens. I'm not going to hark on, because I just hope that people actually learn from my mistake there, and we carry on into the next week. So I'm actually starting the next week today, so that's why we're a little bit late, because I had a break over the weekend. We'll be back to our usual day of Friday, I believe, and we'll see you again on Friday. So hopefully you'll join in this time and stay along. I noticed a few people came in. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned from it. So from John Esser Sports Channel, it's bye for now.